do you think you think that Sino-US, China-US relations are changing, and how will it impact India?
So there, at one time, it appeared that the Americans were quite keen to decouple from China, and they had been talking about the home shoring or friend shoring of industries from China, and they had instructed all the American companies, and they were giving all kinds of incentives and disincentives, so that other companies from Western countries or from Japan or Taiwan, other places, they should move out of China. Now, suddenly they changed that tune because they realized that there was no one else, and very soon they cannot produce those things elsewhere. So therefore, they have now started talking of de-risking. Now, to what extent they will de-risk? Only the highest range of critical technologies, sensitive technologies, and who will decide on all that? So therefore, that is one. Secondly, we saw that Secretary of State Blinken was asked to go and to China and request for a meeting. That meeting was not very civil in some ways. But the Americans have requested for more meetings to take place, more visits from American side to China, where the Chinese have not said no, but they have not specifically said yes to a defense minister level dialogue. So I think, therefore, one cannot say that the Americans have completely cut off their ties with China. They are so strongly linked with them, and their economies are intertwined very closely. So therefore, we will have to watch that carefully. And we are offering ourselves as an alternative supply chain member, and we have important, intelligent people who are working with some of the best brains, have gone to USA, and they're working there. So we would like many of them to come back to India. We would like our own young people to be trained and to be skill developed, so that they can gradually take over all these critical area technologies which the Americans would like to bring into India and other countries out of China. In the meantime, of course, we know the Chinese had blocked their country completely during COVID. Gradually, they are opening up, but we also see seems that many of their cities are still totally empty. All foreigners are moved out. So I think there are changes taking place, and India has to put itself in the right position. Atmanirbharta campaign, which we were trying to project earlier, and we moved out of RCEP, saying that, well, it will only help China, or it will be against the Indian interests. I think now we have to become an active member of the supply chains in Asia. And I think the Americans are offering us membership of the APEC. So we have to keep that in mind. There is also the IPEF, the Indo-Pacific Economic Forum, where India has kept out of the trade and investment side, because we feel that there are a lot of obligations which are likely to be imposed on the Indian companies, whether labor standards, environment standards, etc., etc. So all these things will have to be seen very carefully. But we have moved in a very major way, and Indian companies, Indian think tanks, thinkers, bureaucrats, all they will have to change their thinking.